Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here today as we present the Multifamily Market Update. I'm Travis Montgomery, the Director of Marketing for the Multifamily Investment Advisors team at Keller Williams One Chicago and Keller Williams Commercial. We're going to start this webinar off today by passing it over to our Director of Capital Markets, which is Drew Heitzman. He's going to be sharing some information for us today.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Drew Heitzman. I'm a financial analyst with the team, and here's your weekly update on the 10-year yield and what's going on with that. So over the past couple of weeks, it's been pretty stagnant. As you can see on the chart, it's been trading between around 1.54 as a low point, and then it opened up today at 1.6, about 4 basis points higher. But all in all, the 10-year, it's up 70% so far this year, and 155% from this time last year. And a recent article from Wells Fargo predicted that the 10-year could end the year between 2.10 and 2.4, and that rise, they believe, will start occurring as soon as May due to inflation and all the fiscal stimulus that's occurred over the last 52 weeks from our government. But nothing, it's been very stagnant lately, trading between less than 10 basis points, but definitely something to look out for. Appreciate it, Travis.
Thanks for that update, Drew. And Jason, actually, if you have the PDF, can you pull that up? I'm just having technical issues. So we're actually going to pass this next segment off to our Director of Research and Development, Jason York. He's going to be sharing some information regarding some developments that he's seeing in Chicago.
All right, Travis. Yeah, thanks for passing the ball. Wanted to touch base regarding just one development this week. And that development is the South Bridge development. It's actually on the intersection of South State and Cermak. So just a little bit of background information on the site. It was the former Harold Ikes public housing site as well. It was demolished in 2010, and now the 11-acre site is actually being developed into nearly 900 homes and about 60,000 square feet of retail space. And this site is actually kind of centrally located in between about three to five different mega developments that are taking place in the Chicago South Loop area. And it's really ideally located, surrounded by transit, with the CTA Green Line stop nearby, and a ton of different bus routes to get to the area. This project is also being completed throughout phases. So the current phase that is close to being finished right now is actually the construction of two identical 6-story buildings with about 103 units in each, and also having about 15,000 square feet of retail space on the first floor. So again, this is just the first phase of the project, and it's actually scheduled to come to life summer of 2021. And then this is also going to just be the first phase of nearly 900 homes coming to the South Bridge area, which is located right in between Chinatown, South Loop, and the Bronzeville area. So that's an exciting development that's going on right now, and definitely something to kind of keep your eyes on.
Thanks for sharing that, Jason. If you'd like more information on that South Bridge development, please feel free to leave your contact information in the chat bubble, and we'll forward over some articles and some research information over to you. Next, we're actually going to pass it off to our Director of Acquisitions, Vince, to give us some updates on what investors are seeing in the market out here.
Thanks for that, Travis. The Chicago market is pretty hot, actually, with out-of-towners looking to get in here. I actually just got off the phone with an individual who looks to come in Monday to have a look at, next Monday, to have a look at some property. Weekly here, we've really been getting folks in and out, jumping off planes to have a look at things. So while we do see some, reason for doubt in the news here and there, it's definitely overshadowed by the encouragement of the coming Obama library being the most notable development coming, as well as, what Jason talked about regarding developments in the South Loop and other parts of town. Chicago presents a price point to get in very much lower than similar sized markets in New York and LA, with the average sale price in New York being at 1 million, the average sale price in LA being at 500,000. The average sale price in Chicago still sits just above 300K. 50% of the population are renters. That's really a high for a top 10 metro area. Strong economics. The city's often rated as the most balanced economy in the United States. Job growth is at, a high since the pandemic hit at this current time, and we're seeing signs of recovery clearly. There's 36 Fortune 500 companies that hold their headquarters in the metro areas. Areas like Rogers Park, Logan Square, Pilsen, Avondale, Humboldt Park, Westtown are seeing, rapid rates of development and competition for investors to get in. So, it's very progressive in regards to, there's controversy about the legislation, but overall the national attitude is that things are very progressive and foster development. The population, like we said, is the third largest metro area, and the profitability is there with the low entry rate. Very competitive market for renters as well. Folks, that are moving up in the job market really want to come here because folks are really spending a low percentage of their income on rent relevant to other competitive cities professionally. So we're really seeing a kind of a gold rush going on here, Travis, to be honest with you.
Thanks, Vince, for that information. Definitely appreciate it. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to pass the ball here to our Director of Business Development and Dispositions, Cody. We're actually, what information can you share with us that investors can take advantage of if they're really looking to force appreciation in their assets?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of one of the greater options that we have right now would be the 5 new ADU pilot zones that applications will be able to be rolled out May 1st. And you can get there from chicago.gov/ADU to apply. Adding an ADU or an accessory dwelling unit or a granny flat, as they've been known, can be a fantastic way to force appreciation to hopefully an already performing asset, and thus obviously increase the value, whether it comes time to refinance or to dispose of or to sell the asset. There's five zones in which this will apply. I can absolutely share that with anybody who's interested. There's a couple of requirements that I'd like to make known that I feel are important. So the asset itself has to be at least 20 years old if you're adding a conversion unit in the basement or in the attic space. And then there are zoning requirements as well for properties with 5 or more units. You have to be located in a residential zoning district. So RM, RS, RT, and with the exception of RS1, those 3 fit the bill for the application process. I don't want to get too bogged down with the details on that, but if you'd like more information, my on ADU pilot zones, and if that might be something that works for your particular asset, my contact information will be in the chat.
Thanks for sharing that, Cody. And as well as other programs like Invest Southwest, ADU pilot program, federal opportunity zones, he has all that information that he's willing to share and get over to you investors. Now we're going to pass the mic over to our Executive Director, Tony Hardy, to give us some updates on the multifamily section.
Hey, thanks for sharing that, Cody. Vince, we had a lot of energy, passion. I appreciate that. I just got a couple quick updates. This week, the Commercial Forum and the Chicago Association of Realtors has a fireside chat with the Secretary of Housing, U.S. Secretary of Housing, Marcia Fudge. This is going to be this Thursday, the 29th, from 3:30 to 4 p.m. So I think this is a great opportunity for you to kind of get some insight, investors to get insight into the the Secretary of Housing, and of course she has a lot of influence on our industry. So I'm looking forward to that discussion. And also Thursday, starting at 5:30, so there's no conflict. The commercial forum, the Southside Community Investors Association is gonna have a state of the market with Brandon Speck, the director of market analytics over at the CoStar Group. If you aren't familiar, CoStar is the leading source of research and information for the commercial industry. And Brandon always, as an economist over there that focuses on the Midwest, and he's going to really bring some insight into where the market is in Chicagoland. He's going to touch on specific neighborhoods in Chicagoland, multifamily, and also he always does forecasting on where the trajectory is going with the market. So I'm looking forward to having that conversation with Brandon this Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30. That's going to be in conjunction with the Southside Community Investors Association. So looking forward to that. If you got any questions about that, send us an email, reach out to any one on the Multifamily Investment Advisors team for information on that. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony, for providing those updates and those events on this upcoming Thursday. Now we're going to pass it over to Mo Bennett, who's our Director of Investor Opportunities, to share a little bit of opportunities that the Multifamily Investment Advisors team currently have.
Yes, thank you for that, Travis, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to share my screen really quick. Yeah, I think I'm having some technical difficulties with sharing my screen here. However, we're proud to announce 3110 West Lindale, desirable location in the Logan Square neighborhood. It's located in Palmer Square, which is like a suburb within a suburb of Logan Square, not far from Palmer Square Park. It's beautifully updated with kitchens and baths, as you can see here. It's like a condo feel, condo quality renovations. There's also an opportunity to add value to this property, and it's also in a qualified ADU zone, as Cody mentioned earlier today. You can duplex the first floor units down to the basement in an effort to increase the rents by $500 to $600 and increase the living space. We're also going to move on to 1507 South Michigan. There's a South Loop opportunity for a redevelopment play. It's nearly 27,000 square feet. As you can see, it's a national tenant. Athletico was holding this space there, but it's ideal for office looking to transition from a downtown high rise into more of a exclusive and private environment. There's also on-site parking, and the zoning is, they have the downtown zoning. So any developers, you can bring your ideas, whether you want to do a mixed use apartment building, hotel, create a museum. We have the zoning there for that opportunity as well. Next, we're going to move on to 7708 South Cornell. It's an 8-unit, recently renovated in South Shore. It's located on a very quiet block in the South Shore neighborhood, well-maintained asset, and an investor can receive positive cash flow from day one. This is also a value-added opportunity where we have some long-term tenants there. As you can see, the units have been renovated, but there's some more value to be added once those other units can be turned over. We're going to move on to Groveland Park. 623 East Groveland Park is another very highly desirable location located in the Bronzeville neighborhood. And it's also located in a private gated community in the Bronzeville neighborhood. Renovated 6-unit, open floor plans, exposed brick, and some. It's also a very high renter demand here. Yeah, so it's a great opportunity. Turnkey. All the units are completely occupied, and the cash flows well. An investor can, from day one, receive positive cash flow in a very safe and private investment. Last but not least, new to the market, we just went live today with this opportunity. 6034 South Indiana is a 3-unit in Washington Park. It's fully occupied as well, and there's some exposed brick, nice renovations, individual furnace and hot water tanks, in-unit washer and dryers, and it's also minutes away from the groundbreaking Obama Library. I believe Vince mentioned that earlier today as well. So yeah, this is another great opportunity. Feel free to reach out to myself at my email, mobennett@kwcommercial.com, or any of the trusted multifamily investment advisor team members to be your trusted go-to resource if you're in the market looking to buy or sell.
Thank you for going over those opportunities there, Mo. And if you're definitely interested in those opportunities and willing to learn more about those, please shoot us an email. We'll have our director of acquisitions, Vince, reach out, and he'll even reach out to actually go over your acquisition criteria so we can actually start pointing at inventory and provide you with those opportunities as well. Just going to leave the floor open right here. Just going to check to see if we have any questions from the Facebook Live and YouTube Live section. Okay, it looks like there's no questions there. So what I'm going to do now is just go over a few events that are upcoming. Tony actually mentioned one of the events, which is the fireside chat with the U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Marcia Fudge. That's going to be this Thursday at April 29th from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. And then, of course, the Southside Community Investors Association has their meeting at 5 p.m. on this upcoming Thursday. Another event that will actually be hosted by our executive director, Tony Hardy, will be the Commercial Forum event, where it's the Insider's Guide to Community-Based CRE Investments. It'll actually be a panel of industry leaders with firsthand experience, actually going over some of those Chicago communities and some hot discussion topics such as how you can work with organizations like the Community Investments Corporation to spark community development in your neighborhood. And then we have another upcoming event, which is actually going to be Tuesday, May 25th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., where once again, Tony Hardy will be a panelist for the Commercial Forum, where it's the networking event for the Commercial Forum, where it's like-minded individuals getting together to discuss some hot topics regarding the commercial industry in Chicago. And of course, if it's always Monday at noon, the Multifamily Investment Advisors team will be here to present the Multifamily Market Update. And you all have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.